What's up, hackers? Welcome back to CTF Tricks, your go-to spot for breaking down the most complex hacks into simple wins. Today we are dealing with Advent of Cyber, day number 19, which is ICS Modbus Claus for concern. Now, this specific room will be dealing with industrial control systems and Modbus protocol. So, without any further delay, let's dive right into it. So in this lab, we'll be going to explore the intersection of IT and physical machinery. Specifically, we will cover Modbus protocol fundamentals, where we will be understanding how industrial devices communicate and why the legacy protocol is a gold mine for attackers. Next, we will be understanding PLC interacting, like how to use Python, specifically PyModbus library to talk to a programmable logic controller, that is a PLC. Next, we'll learn how to do a register manipulation, like learning the difference between coils, that is on and off switches, and holding registers, which are numeric data, and how to read write them to change a machine's behavior. Next, we'll be identifying the exploit, like where we'll be identifying a compromised system to find malicious signature left by attackers like the infamous King Malhare. So let me give you a background and the key concepts of this. ICS, or Industrial Control Systems, and OTs, unlike traditional IT, which focuses on data, like this operational technology focuses on physical events. ICS are the frameworks used to control everything from power grids and water treatment plants to automated conveyor belts in our uh, town, like this TryHackMe town called Wherewell. Next, the PLC, or the programmable logic controller, is the brain of a machine. It's ruggedized computer that takes input like sensor detecting a package and produces outputs like moving a robotic arm. In our lab, the PLC controls the gift sorting process. Next, the Modbus protocol, which was created in 1979. Modbus is the grandfather of industrial protocols. Where it is used? It is used in manufacturing and energy sectors because of its simplicity and reliability. How it functions is it works on a request response model. A client sends a request to the server to either read a value or write a new one. Next is the security catch. So Modbus was designed for closed air gap networks back in 1900s and around 1979 or something. Consequently, it had no built-in automation. If you can reach the IP and port, usually 502, which is a TCP port used by Modbus, you have full control. There are no passwords, no encryption, and everything is sent in plain text. In this lab, our mission is to investigate a suspicious sorting machine. We'll find that the system has been tampered with, to swap Christmas presents for chocolate eggs. We'll have to carefully navigate the registers to fix the configuration without triggering a self-destruct mechanism that would dump the entire inventory into the ocean. So let's dive into it. Let's open the first one, SCADA, Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. If we scroll down, it asks what port is commonly used by Modbus protocol. Modbus protocol uses TCP 502 port. So I'll type 502 and click on check. Awesome. I forgot the introduction check. I'll just click on that. Next is the PLC. We will be interested in all of these holding registers, that is HR01, HR0 and HR4. Then in the coils, we will be interested in C10, C11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. One thing to note over here is the numbering starts from 0 and not 1. So actually 0 means the first element or the first register, just like we have in arrays in coding. So I'll click on check on this. I'll move on to the practical and let's dive right in. Let's scroll down to the very end. Awesome. So first things first, we will be running a Nmap Scan to figure out the open ports and the protocols that are running on those ports on this target machine. But before that, let's visit this target machine. So it's 10.43, sorry, 49, 132, 144. 49, 132, 41, 44. Awesome. So this target machine IP will be different for you, and make sure that you put your own target machine IP over here. One more thing that we need to note is we need to be connected to the TryHackMe network to perform this lab. So either connect via attack box or the split screen Kali terminal, or you can use the free alternative, that is connecting via OpenVPN. Let me know down in the comment section if you want a dedicated video to or guide to know how to connect to TryHackMe via OpenVPN. I'll be happy to help you there. So let's move on to the task. I'll be running this nmap command to get the service versions for all ports and be very verbose about it on my target machine. Make sure you replace your target machine IP over here. For the interest of time, I have already run the Nmap scan and this is the output that we got. For this particular machine, we can see the open ports are 80, 8080, 22, 502, 44818 and 102. Next, we see that we have a list of all the important data that Nmap could get us, like the services that are running, where we see like we have SSH, HTTP, ISO TSFP, and Modbus and another HTTP service, and Ethernet net IP2. Also in the versions we see more details like OpenSSH for the SSH thing, works HTTPD 3.13, then we see the Siemens S7 PLC service, then we see the Modbus TCP and this another HTTPD version for Python. Awesome! Now that we have the open ports, let's try connecting to Modbus. As you already know that connecting to Modbus protocol doesn't need any password. So I'll head over to our shell, and over here I'll do try to connect to Modbus. So for the first connection, we already know the port that we want to connect to. And we also know the IP of the target machine. So let's start the Python 3 terminal. So once I start Python, I can then connect using PyModbus, that is a library that helps us connect to Modbus clients. I'll paste the code, and as you can see, it says like from pymodbus.client import Modbus TCP client, and using Modbus TCP client connect to this our target IP on port number 502. And if client is connected, tell us that connected to PLC successfully, otherwise tell us connection failed. Let's run this. And yay, it says like connected to PLC successfully. Awesome. Now let's move on to read the holding register 0 uh, that has the package type. So I'll copy this code and paste it. Awesome. So this section of the code tells us that from the client, read the holding register with the address 0. And if the result is not an error, then do the following, like print the package type, and if package type is 0, print that it is Christmas presents. If package type is 1, print chocolate eggs. If package type is 2, print Easter egg baskets. Let's run this. Awesome. We see that the package type is a chocolate egg, and this confirms us that the information that we gathered and the problem that exists is true, that we should have been shipping presents, but we are getting chocolate eggs. That's the problem, right? So let's move on to know more about these things. So you might be wondering why I chose 0 for Christmas gifts, 1 for chocolate eggs, and 2 for Easter baskets. So this is the handwritten note that someone at the TBFC, the Best Festival Company, um, like had put down, like and sent this to us. So we see over here like TBFC drone control register map, and we have the register map over here like HR01 holding registry 1, holding registry 4, where we need where there is a delivery zone, and we need to check the current value for HR04. This actually guides us through what things we need to do in this target machine. Awesome. So let's move on. I'll keep this note open for reference, and let's go back to our terminal. So we already queried our holding register 0 for the package type. Next, let's query the holding register 1 for the delivery zone. So as we know, holding register 1 has the delivery zones. 1 to 9 is normal, but if it is 10, then the package will be dumped in the ocean. Oh no, and we certainly don't want that. Let's run the code to see what it will be doing. So this code actually reads the holding register with address 1 from the client. That is our target IP on port number 502 using Modbus. And what it says is if the response is not an error, we will be printing the delivery zone. And if zone is equal to 10, then we should get a warning that ocean dump will be happening. Otherwise, we just need to say that normal delivery will be happening. So yeah, we see that normal delivery will be happening. So there's nothing wrong in this. Let's move on to holding registry 4. And holding registry 4 contains the system signature and version. Let's try to figure out the current system signature and versions. I'll just copy this code and paste it over here. So what this code does is, from the client, it will read the holding register with the address 4. And if the address is 4, it means that the holding register is the 5th holding register that we have. As I said, the whole numbering starts from 0, so it will go like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So the holding register 4 is actually the 5th holding register. So in the 5th holding register, we are actually querying to get the values. And if the result is not an error, it will actually try to print the system signature. The system signature, if the system signature is 666, so it will tell us that exploit has been detected and King Malhare's signature is updated. So let's try to run this. Awesome. So we know that King Malhare's signature has been detected over here. So in the above command, if we don't know what is the new system signature, just remove this line if you just want to know the system signature and run this code. So you will just get the system signature. As you see, we get the system signature, that is 666, and that's what it wants us. In the current thing, we have 666. So yeah, we checked the holding register and we found that it has been exploited. Next, let's move on to the coils. Let's start with the coil number 10. In the coil 10, it's inventory verification. If it is true, system checks actual stock. If it is false, it just does blind operation. We certainly don't want blind operation. So I'll check the copy the code and paste it over here. So these are very simple codes. You can write it down on yourself or just copy it from the TryHackMe lab. This particular code, what it does is, from the client, it reads the coils. And as we know, we want the coil number 10, so we gave the address as 10. Then if it checks if the result is not an error, then verify, like get the first bit of the result and print like the verification bit. Like if it is not like if it is true, then system is if it is false, then it will be blind operation, that the system is not checking the stocks. So let's run it, and yeah, we see this command like print system disabled, not checking stock. Awesome. Sorry for that. I by mistake typed a plus over here, which is not required. So it gave like error. So next, let's move on to the coil number 11. Now, coil number 11 is actually for protection or override. Like if it is true, the chain just locked or monitored. and if it is false, then it is normal operation. So we need to ensure that it is false. But if it is true, then we are in deep trouble. So let's copy the code for coil number 11. So in this code, again, what we are doing is from the client, we are reading the coil with the address number 11. And if the result is not an error, we are getting the first bit. And we are checking if it is active or if it is inactive. If it is inactive, we will just paste it, like print it. Otherwise, if it is active, we will see like the changes are monitored. So awesome. It has been set to true and changes are being monitored. So let's move on to the next coil, that is coil number 15. So in the coil number 15, we have the self-destruct status, auto-armed on breach. So let's copy this code and let's see if it is auto-armed or not. So again, it reads from the coils from the client IP with the address 15 and gets the first bit and just gives the result according to that. And we see it has not been armed, like the self-destruct is not armed, so we are safe now. Phew, that's a relief for certain. Now moving on, let's write a script to actually get info on all the coils and all the registers and how their values are set instead of going one by one. I'll just type exit on this, and I have already written the script as reconnaissance.py, which will do the same thing that we have been doing until now. That is, it will connect via TCP on port number 502 on this our target machine IP via Modbus, and then it will check for the holding register values and print the value accordingly, and then it will check the coil values and print their values accordingly, and then it will give us a threat assessment of what things we need to do. So let's try to run it. I'll do Python 3 reconnaissance.py and press enter. Awesome. So our script actually ran and got all these values, like for HR01 it's value number 1, HR0 it's value number 1, HR1 it's value 5, that is in normal zone. For HR4 it's value 666, and for coil 10 it is false and it should be true. For coil 11 it is true, it's fine. So for coil 12 it is false, for coil 13 it is false but it should be true, for coil 14 it is false, and coil 15 is also false. So we need to remediate this thing to restore the Christmas. So for restoring Christmas, I have wrote another script that will connect to Modbus and change these values of these registers. What values do we need to change? So first we need to disable protection mechanism C11 first. Then we need to change the package type to Christmas gifts, that is at holding register 0 value to 0. Then we need to enable verification, that is we need to change the value of C10 to true. Then we need to enable audit logging, that we need to change the C13 to true. And finally verify if C15 never got armed. Awesome. So that's what this entire script restore Christmas does for me. Let's go ahead and try running it using Python. So it's doing all those things. You can see it's changing the values. It changed the value of this first thing to 1. It disabled the protection mechanism. It is changing the package type to Christmas presents. Enabling inventory verification, enabling audit logging, verifying system restoration, and finally success. Christmas is saved. And here we get a flag, THM egg mass over. Egmas over. Okay, now that's a good flag. So let's go back to PLC CCTV simulator, and here we see like horrifying video of King Malhare, like snapping some USB cables. That's really a real horror for me. But let's move down to the very end, and it asks what is the flag. I'll just paste the flag that we got from the script, that is Egmas over, and click on check, and yay, that's the correct flag. So next, if you enjoyed today's room, I'll click a check on that too. And congratulations on completing ICS Modbus Claus for concern. And that's how you do it like a pro. If you found this walkthrough helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe to join the CTF Tricks squad. You are dropping fresh content every single day, so don't miss out. Until next time, keep hacking, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.